Pandas, 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 pandas. Good morning, pandas, and welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you guys can join us. I'm Bye Money. Hey, pandas, if you guys are just joining, make sure you drop a GM in the chat with your location. Also, don't forget to scalp that like button. Ooh, I cannot see this name. What we got here? Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ooh, we have a new member in the chat. I can't actually read that name because of the poll blocking it. About 19 of you guys have voted already. I don't want to lose these votes here. Hey, I have to actually end this poll. I'm gonna give a little bit of credit to this guy. Russell Thompson, thanks for becoming a panda. Russell Thompson, enjoy your green name. Enjoy your two-legged pullback badge as it forms over time. Enjoy your panda emoticons. Enjoy priority responding to your comments and questions. Hey, pandas. Let's give Russell Thompson a warm welcome here. Sorry about that, Pandas. Gonna throw that pull back on. If you already voted, could you vote again for me here? I couldn't see that name. I wanted to thank Russell Thompson for becoming a panda. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Richard Belmont. Good morning. Bernadette. Good morning. She lives in New Jersey. Working from home today. Let's go, baby. Bernadette, I'm surprised you're actually going into the office. I mean, at my work, especially since you're, IT, I'm surprised that they have you go into the office. So glad you're working from home today. BG Investor, good morning. Welcome back. Brighter Future. Brighter Future. Is that like a play on words? Like, are you like a futures trader, but you like the name Brighter Future because you're trying to have a better future, but at the same time you like to trade futures? I don't know if that's a wordplay, but welcome to the stream. Mindful Jazzy from Canada, a Canadian here. It's a lot of Canadians. When I look at the demographics and analytics, a lot of Canadians here. Frank Angela from Jersey. Phil W. Good morning, all. FOMC news at 2 p.m. today, so we'll probably be slow today. Yeah, it's Wednesday, so we'll have FOMC at 2 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we do have a slow day today, but I'm going to let each candle tell me a little bit more. I mean, boy, oh boy, oh boy. When your 10K chart looks like this, basically had a triangle here, and the 10K finally making some new lows here. Right, breaking below the base of the triangle here, and we're broke it by one tick here, and just unsure if is this going to turn into some sort of type of trading range here of some sort, like on the upper half of this trading range marked by the trading range indicator, or we're gonna come back to the bottom of the trading range. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to the bottom here, but we do have this triangle as well, and it's just in other words, it's very choppy, right? This is the 10,000 tick chart, very, very choppy. Don't know what's happening here. That same triangle I put on the 2K chart, and currently we're breaking down it with a trap here. And that comes after a failed trap on this side. And so, failed trap here, right, hitting the top of the trading range on the 2K chart. And we are breaking below the trading range on the 2K chart. But, could be a failed breakdown easily here. And I guess it depends on your risk management. But you could trade this range here. But at the same time, to me, this looks like a triangle. And so this triangle is breaking down. Even though we do have a range inside this triangle, to me, I also see this triangle. I also see this range. I see both. And I'm going to trade it like a triangle. I'm going to trade it like the worst case scenario, essentially. And so that means that I'm not going to try to go long and fade this trading range, even though it's a pretty clear trading range. But also I see this triangle, and we're breaking down the triangle at the moment. And so this breakdown could actually be a true breakdown here. It's unsure. We essentially have two channels going on, right? We have this channel. We still have this channel, but this channel going up is breaking, and those two channels I created to make this triangle as well. And so we're going to see which one prevails, and currently the descending channel is prevailing. Hope you guys can see that, right? These are actually just two channels, right? But these purple lines also are making the triangle for our triangle pattern here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, guys. As you guys are rolling into the stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, I'm up a little bit today. I took a trade last night, and oh man, I had a good trade, but basically traded off this 10K chart, and I saw this right at the time. It looked like this, and so I saw this in the overnight session, and I saw a two-legged pullback here. This is 10K chart, A, B, C. I was like, okay, I'm thinking we can come at least to the top of the trading range on the trading range indicator. As you can see, this red line here. And so I took a scalp, and I was like, maybe potentially, since we're above the 20 MA, this could actually break out. And so I, had my trade here, and I actually was able to make my point. But as Bernadette asked, why does the Apex auto liquidate threshold value keep changing? Does it increase along with your gains, and does it decrease with your losses? Trying to understand the threshold value. And so because my unrealized gains hit up to here, the highest point my account ever made was entering this trade and going up here. And so I actually went up like a couple $100 more, and so the threshold changes depending on the highest point of your account, even if it's unrealized gains. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And anyone trying to do this Apex evaluation, please take note of that, right? That they that the auto liquidate threshold, right? That's basically where I will fail my evaluation. If my account ever goes down to that threshold value, even unrealized, and I can't stress this enough because I don't think a lot of people understand this, even if it's unrealized, right, then I will fail this evaluation. So my trailing drawdown cannot go down to that auto liquidate threshold. Right now I'm pretty safe from it, I'm pretty far away from it, but if I ever get down to that point, even unrealized gains, right? Let's just say I'm in a trade, I'm deep in a trade, and I think it's gonna turn around, but I just wanted to hold it, and it drops below that auto liquidate threshold. Even though I don't get out of my position, I'm still in it. It doesn't matter. It just depends on your unrealized drawdown. And so, not only is the unrealized gains accounted for in the drawdown, but also the unrealized losses. And so you have to realize that before you. And I want to warn you guys before, because I think some people entered or tried the Apex evaluation not knowing that, and they didn't realize it's unrealized on both sides, and they failed the evaluation. And so. But if you watch, Apex has a lot of videos explaining clearly as possible about this auto liquidate threshold, and I hope you guys account for that. So this is why I'm trading so safe right now, because even though I have a $150,000 account, my drawdown being only $5,000, I cannot trade 10 contracts, right? I can trade up to 17 contracts with this particular account, but in my opinion, that's like suicide. Because if it goes against you, like, you know, a point or two, then, you know, trading 17 contracts, every point is, I don't know, how many is that per point? That's, you know, we're talking about per point about, $500 for 10 contracts, 750. It's about $850 per point that your trade goes against you. So if you have a trade that goes, you know, 3 or 4 points against you, you're already like beyond halfway your threshold. So even though you can trade 17 contracts, I don't think it's wise to do so. And so I'm trading really only 3 contracts, 1 runner off stream. And so this is why I have, you know, I make maybe about $400 to $500 a day right now. If I, yeah, Aaron Core, math is hard. Yeah, it is. Having to do that in my head is a little difficult. But Coop says Janet Yellen wrote this software. Yeah, 850 per contract, or per point, with 17 contracts. And so for me, to wisely do this, I'm treating this more like maybe a $40,000 account, and I will be trading only 4 contracts because of that drawdown. So, and you know, with 4 contracts, the max I would really lose is like $800 on any trade. And so, you know, you have a lot more room to mess up, and I will mess up. You know, it's I am a panda, and so there are times I will mess up. I've messed up many times on the stream. So that's why on stream I, you know, trade only 2 contracts because of the added pressures of trading on stream, and I just do not feel confident yet on stream to trade my full contract sizes. And so I'm cutting my contract size in half while I'm on stream. I should honestly trade only 1 contract on stream, I think. Even though I won't be making a killing on the stream, it doesn't matter because right now my profitability on stream is very low. And so I may just switch to 1 contract just because it's like, nah, I'll like 2 contracts because I want to have 1 runner. I want to have a runner just so I can trade a runner with you guys, so we can, you know, watch these runners together and manage it well on stream. So I'll do 2 contracts still, 1 scout, 1 runner. In my opinion, that's like, it's not the best type of strategy to have, typically because runners usually get stopped out. And so you have to have a really good runner in order to make it worth it to trade 1 scout, 1 runner. You have to account also for the risk when you talk about 1 scout, 1 runner. You know, when you have like 4 contracts and you have 1 runner, it's actually that 1 runner not scalping out does less damage for you in terms of your account, in terms of ratio, right? Percentage wise, you know, basically you have 50% of your trade going to the scalp and 50% going to the runner. And so that means if you lose, you're actually losing 2 times as much. And so you know, I hope you guys understand, you know, that it's weighted. And so if you have 3 scalps, 1 runner, that means when you lose your runner or lose on a trade completely, it doesn't hurt you as much in terms of, you know, ratio wise. But when you have 1 scout, 1 runner, that actually is not that good of a trade strategy, in my opinion. Because of the fact that runners typically get stopped out. And so added on top of that, if you do lose a trade, and it's like, you know, it's just that much more hurt on your account. So right now I drew out, you know, with this box on a 10K chart, this potential trading range. Also triangle here as well. Also the trading range is larger on the 10K chart, right? Because it actually comes down all the way down to here, marking that we've been choppy ever since these 3 bars, and since this chop has started here, we can come back down here to test it. So just not feeling very confident in any trade right now. Pandas, as you guys are rolling in, don't forget to scalp that like button. Also, music check. Let me know if the music's too loud or too soft here. Brighter Future says, when I go live, should I start with only one contract per trade? Account will be something between $5,000 to $10,000. I'm not your financial advisor, but the general rule of thumb is one contract on the E-mini per $10,000. That's the general rule of thumb. The reason why that's the case is because when you lose a trade, you're losing typically to about 3 to 4 points. And so if you do lose a trade 3 to 4 points, you have to, let's just say the max you lose 4 points, and that means that it's $200. And so with a $10,000 account, that's 2% of your account. And so with any trade, you should really not be risking more than 1 to 2% on your account. And so that's how you come up with the one contract per $10,000. But of course, you can be riskier and have one contract per $5,000. And that's what I did a little earlier this year when I first started. I did $5,000. I tried to grow the account, grew it to about like around $40,000 to $50,000. And right now, I'm like, okay, just taking a pause on that and focusing on Apex, because I'm like, well, if they're gonna give me a $150,000 account, if I could just make $9,000, then I'd rather just get this $150,000 account and trade another person's money. That's a beautiful thing about funded accounts. You might think it's a little scammy thinking like that, but I think the business model makes sense. In my opinion, especially Apex. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, Brighter Future, if this is your first time trading, you will blow your account. If this is the first time you're going live, you will blow your account. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you start with the MES, the micro E-mini, and prove yourself to be profitable for a couple months. And if you can prove yourself to be profitable, like have some sort of tangible goal, such as doubling your account, tripling your account, or having 100 trades in a row without messing up, right, without one loss, or trade for a significant amount of time, 3-4 months, without and being profitable. You're not gonna get rich off the MES, but you won't go broke, and that's what Albrook says. And so I would start off with MES if I were you, because if you start with $5,000 to $10,000, in my opinion, you have about 95% chance you will blow that account, unless you've really proven yourself in some way or another. But in my opinion, Brighter Future says, I've been trading demo for like 1 year. I think you should still trade MES because of that pressure of trading live. You'll feel, even with one MES contract, which is per point, it's $5. Even when that happens, you will feel the stress on MES. You will feel it still, just because you have some skin in the game. And you need to have in my opinion, you don't just play in the NFL, right? In my opinion, if you're taking trading seriously, this is the NFL right here, right? We're in the NFL right now. We're on the major leagues, and if you do any sports, you never go straight to the major leagues, right? You start, with the little leagues, right, and you start to work your way up. And if you prove yourself, then you can finally go into the major leagues here. So in my opinion, that's what the MES is. You get to, let's just say you're in a college, collegiate level at least. You want to go into MES. That's my opinion. So that is my personal opinion. And I'm not your financial advisor, of course. So you don't have to do what I said. You can go in and trade 10 contracts, your first trade, and see if you can make money. But it's up to you. We live in a free country. Well, at least some of us do. And you can do what you want. So this is not financial advice. Trade at your own risk. Do not copy my trades, as you can see on streams. My record on streams has not been so hot. But it's kind of funny because I'm posting my I'm actually posting my Rhythmic, right? I'm actually posting my a capture of the Rhythmic with the Apex account. So if you guys don't understand what's happening on the top left of your screen here, Rhythmic or Apex uses a third-party software to validate your account, to validate your trades. And right now, what you see in the capture is straight up the third-party software that is capturing my account size and my thresholds. And so, you know, it's full exposure here. And even though I do this, people still don't think, people still don't believe it. People still don't believe my account's growing. People still don't believe these things. And you know, in my opinion, there's nothing you can do about that. I'm straight up showing my third-party software, which is used to validate your trades. And so, you know, it is what it is. You know, that's the world of the internet. So, Ralph Gruns, good morning from Atlanta, home of the world champion Atlanta Braves. Amazing. Only if your NFL team was as good as your baseball team. But congrats. Yeah, so for those who got to see that that interview I posted yesterday of Al Brooks, ooh man, he had some gold. There's some gold nuggets. Every time Al Brooks speaks, it's like gold nuggets. Haters gotta hate. Yeah, it is true. It is what it is. But there is a tidbit that he has that Al Brooks talks about. See, this is why I like when you guys join early, because I can like talk with you guys, answer some questions. But there is some goal when he talks about scaling in, and essentially what he's saying, if you're ever gonna scale in, right? Let's say you enter this trade long here. You see that you know you have your trap here. You enter long here, and you want to scale in. And so you realize it's going against you, but oh, it's okay. I can scale in here. And so typically, let's say I trade 4 contracts. My max loss is $800, right? 4-point loss. You know, that's the most I really would lose on any trade. And so if that's your max threshold, you have to understand that if you lose this, right? If you're scaled in, right, max you're willing to lose in any trade will be the same. And so I'm not if I'm scaling in, right? If I already went on my full contracts here, I cannot scale in because I already lost, right? I already lost it. If you're gonna scale in, you have to plan to scale in, right? So for instance, you go 1 contract down here thinking you can scale in 1 time, and you don't even have to scale in because you make a scalp on that 1 contract. But right here, you're right at the bottom of trading range, thinking, okay, I might come back into trading range, and you're scared that you might drop one more leg lower. So you want to say, okay, I'm going to scale in, right? Because you have high chances coming back into the trading range here, and even higher chances when you have maybe 1 more leg down. You want to fade that breakout, so you can scale in 1 time here, scale in. But if you're going to do that, you have to realize not only, you know, in my opinion, you have to trade at least half what you typically trade. But in my opinion, if you're going to scale in, I would just trade with 1 contract, because the fact of when you scale in, you don't know how far those pullbacks would be. Yeah, I'll drop a link. Let me find it real quick. I'll drop that link again. But he has like really good tidbit about scaling in, because a lot of people probably have questions about scaling in. And the scary thing about scaling is that's how you blow your account very quick if you don't do it correctly. If you don't do it correctly, you will blow your account, because you're like exponentially adding risk, literally. So let's see here if I can find it. You know, it's really funny because right now this interview has about 4,000 views and it's been up for about 3 days. This interview should have, in my opinion, like 1,000,000 views. I mean, the amount of gold, you know, like if you really look at it, like the actual, you know, real like beneficial information out there on the internet, they actually don't get that many views. Because people don't realize if you really want to learn something, it's not easy. It's very difficult. People, you know, those things that blow up are like those scammy type strategies. You know, do this and you know you can double your account and blah 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 blah. And in one trade, whatever. And so, you know, typically people don't want to put the effort in. People don't want to work. And so, when you actually have something with substantial content, people don't want it. And this interview only having like, you know, 3,000 some views, that should be illegal. And for those who are just rolling in, I'm Bye Bye Money. Thanks for joining the stream. On this channel, we are trying to get a funded $150,000 funded account. In order to do so, we gotta pass the Apex evaluation. And the Apex evaluation is you gotta get $9,000 before $5,000 drawdown. All right, the music's louder than my voice. We can change that. Let me know if that's a little bit better. And so, that's what we're doing on the stream. We're going to get that funded account. Pandas, we're going to get our bamboo. Currently, this is day 6 of my Apex evaluation. Up about $2,340 some dollars. $46. Yeah, in 6 days, that's not bad. That's not bad. Trading 4 contracts. I don't think that's bad at all. You know, 6 days. What is that? 246. 2,200. Not bad at all. You know, averaging about $300 to $400 a day. And yeah, we're gonna get there. You know, I'm not trying to get there, you know, in record time. That's not the point here. Plus, the market has been very stingy, right? When you look at the market and it looks like this is not easy to trade, in my opinion. This is not an easy market to trade at the moment. It's been very choppy. And, you know, when you look at the daily, you know, and we're grinding up like this, it's just, the market, in my opinion, is not, the price action has been actually pretty terrible, in my opinion. But, you know, you could love this type of price action. It's just, for me, it's not it for me. Market just open, pandas. We're hitting the bottom of the trading range again. We're getting a higher low setup potentially here. On the bottom of the trading range. Terrible signal bar though. Sitting on our pause. And so we're going to do this by trading the E-mini. Most of you guys think it's going to be a trading range day today. If you guys are just joining, make sure you scalp that like button. It helps out the stream a lot. And so what we have here is potentially break of trend here, right? You can say this is break of trend to new low, and we could be looking for a reversal here off the bottom of this trading range. And you know, this is why I don't go long here, because the 20 EMA, you know, and it also already trapped you out, already lost. You already got stopped out here. A potential trap trade to the long side here now. Bottom of trading range, break of trend, new low. Potentially can go long here. Woo-wee. Below the 20 MA though. I don't like that. I don't like being below the 20 MA like that. I'm gonna try to take a, I might take a trade here. Don't like how that looks. Perfect scalp made. Alright, I'm gonna skip this trade. I was thinking maybe we can reverse back to the top of the trading range here with this reversal pattern. Okay, break a trend, new low, and we're also bottom of the trading range. But currently, ooh, I kind of like this trade, pandas, but we're below the 20 MA. Kind of like this trade here. I think I'm gonna take this trade, pandas. Let's see if we can get a little push up here. Let's see if we can get a point here on this trap. I don't like how it's below the 20 MA, but I like the reversal pattern here. Bottom of the trading range, choppiness, and we are in a trading range right now. And I'm risking about 2.5 points. And I'm in this trade, and I'm gonna have one scalp, one runner, and you know, break a trend to new low and reversal pattern here. Right, two-legged pullback, fails to enter short here, and going long, but with a good signal bar. And so I'm gonna take this trade. I'm gonna take the risk here. I think it's worth it. You know, I like the setup here. Come back to the top of the trading range, but it is what it is. If I fail this, if this stops me out, I thought the risk is worth it here, but it's up to you. You know, they're not copying my trades, but I like the setup here. I like how we're in a trading range. I like how we're at the bottom of it, reversing. And if we get stopped out, it is what it is, and it's just unfortunate. In my opinion, I think this trade is worth it here. It is a little choppy, but the pattern is still there, in my opinion. You know, when you're at the bottom of trading range, you want to find setups to go long, and this is a setup to go long, in my opinion. So it is what it is. If I lose, it's all good. Just watching, just holding this trade. Nothing to do here except to watch this. If you lose it, you lose it, and you move on to the next trade. It does look like it wants to stop me out here, but it's all good. It's coming back. It's being very disappointing, right? Like if you're in this trade, you can already feel the disappointment for me. And even though I like the setup, you know, sometimes it goes against you. It's all good. I actually do like that setup, and I don't mind losing that, pandas. I don't mind losing this trade, and I like it. And it's completely okay with me. It might come up now, but I don't mind losing that trade at all. I do not mind that. Unfortunately, it wanted to stop me out one tick, and now it's reversing. It might hit my target now after stopping me out that one tick. It's all good, pandas. You know, it is what it is. But I like the setup when I entered it, and sometimes you lose it. But the idea is, if you stick to the plan, you know, you will become profitable. And so now it might come back to the top of the trading range. It's all good. But I'm just sitting on my pause now. You know, it already got stopped out by that one tick, and now it's coming back up. And it's unfortunate that it's probably going to go out without me. It already made a point, you know, from my entry, my original entry. Right premise, wrong timing, and it is what it is. But, you know, that means bad trade, right? You know, no excuses. I thought that was a good setup, but it is what it is. So welcome to stream. We lost our first trade. That's all good. We'll get it back. That's just a shame. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, with a good setup like that, man, oh man, oh man. Big bear bar currently. Be careful here. Trading range. Ooh. Very interesting here. This is a 10,000 tick chart. This is the trading range we're in. The thing is like, if you do lose a trade, in my opinion, like, you should be in a place, for me, is I'm okay losing my trades because when I enter a trade, I'm like, okay, I like the setup. And if the setup is good and the context is good, I'm just, I have no regrets entering a trade that I like, even if I lose it. I'd rather enter a trade, that I like and lose it, than enter a trade I don't like and winning it. As funny as that sounds, that's actually how, that's actually how I feel. In my opinion, we're gonna come back to the bottom of the trading range on the 10K chart, as you can see here. The funny thing is that when you see this, when you see something like this, you're thinking, why in the world is this trading range indicator giving us a trading range all the way down here? Right? That doesn't make sense. The trading range indicator is broken, right? Why is it giving us, the bottom of the trading range way down here? It's because price action. Right? We had choppy price action all the way up to this point where the trading range indicator is identifying this entire this entire movement as a trading range. And you're thinking, no way, this is gonna burst up, but top of the trading range right here. And where are we finding ourselves now? We're going towards the bottom of the trading range right now. Breaking down now this triangle. This triangle, in my opinion, I don't think it's that much more valid anymore. I don't think this triangle, I think it's pretty much breaking down now, but we shall see. That's a 10,000 tick chart, by the way. Break a trend, new low. Reversal pattern right here. Gets me by one tick, stops me by one tick, and finally makes it. It is what it is. Again, maybe the only thing that will stop me from entering that another time is the choppiness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overlapping bars, 7 overlapping bars maybe. You can consider that 7 overlapping bars. And that's what happened to you in that little chop. This spike down actually breaks this 2K trading range. Right? The lines stopped, right? Stopped forming, right? The lines aren't continuing anymore. So that means technically it actually broke out of this trading range. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. The 5-minute currently looks like this. Very nasty price action. A huge wick down here, comes back up, closes above. The 5-minute trading range actually has been here since yesterday starting from 12 o'clock. Yesterday, 12 o'clock, we're actually in the trading range on the 5-minute. And I mean, you're talking about like the overnight sessions, and so I'm not surprised we had choppy price action, but I mean, right now we're actually in the range of the 5-minute. We have not closed beneath the range, so take that for what it's worth. 10,000 tick chart. By the way, if you want to know what tick I'm losing or using, I just saw this guy's minus 400. So maybe say losing, but I'm using. Just look in the bottom left of your screen. You can see which time frame I'm on. We're getting a higher low setup here. The higher low setup back into the trading range. I'm gonna set up my pause here. It's just a little too choppy. Kind of got burned already trying to go long. So I'm just like, I have that bad taste in my mouth going long right now. So I tried to already fade this trading range, failed it once, and so. Right, that was the beauty of, if I were to scale in, if I use one contract instead, I could have, went in one contract here, realized it failed, and then when it comes back up, I can actually enter here, double position, and then go long. And that's how you would scale in here. But, yeah, it depends. Depends how you want to scale in. By the way, if you guys are interested in Apex, there is a coupon right now in the pinned message. The pinned message, so if you don't know what Apex is a funded account. You get, if you pass your evaluation, they give you an account to trade. You get to use their money, and you keep your profits up to 90% of the profits. And yeah, it is what it is. I actually like so when you think about funded accounts, like when I first heard funded accounts, I'm like, that's too good to be true. How can you trade another person's money? How are they gonna fork over their funds to you? And so, in my opinion, I'm just like, man, that's crazy. That's really crazy. That seems like a scam, too good to be true. But as I thought about it, I realized, and looking at the rules and looking at kind of like how they regulate the trades and stuff, I can see how this is a business model, a good business model. They make most of their money off the evaluations, in my opinion. They probably make most of their money on people trying to pass the evaluations, and the evaluation is, right now, typically this evaluation would be over $300 a month, but because of the 50% off code, it's only $100 some a month to try to pass this evaluation. And so most people, in my opinion, will fail their evaluation because when they see that you can trade up to 17 contracts, they're going to trade up to 17 contracts. And they're trading up to 17 contracts, and they're probably going to fail in like 1 or 2 trades, in my opinion. Or they might do well on 1 trade, but in about 2 or 3 trades later, they're going to fail. And so, in my opinion, most people they make most of their money probably off the evaluations. And so, let's just say you do pass the evaluation. Now you get to trade their $150,000 account. So how does that make sense? They're risking their money for you. And so when you get the funded account, I realized after looking in more details into these prop firms, is that there is still a trailing drawdown, but if you get beyond the trailing drawdown of the account, right? Let's say the trailing drawdown is $5,000, which is what it is on this account. And they give you the actual funded account. Once you get over $5,000, so let's just say I make, $6,000. The trailing drawdown stops, right? And it turns into a static drawdown, which is the original account balance plus $100. So $150,100 is my new drawdown. And so I can actually within there have as much trailing drawdown as I want. Doesn't matter how high the account gets. All of those things kind of disappear. The only time they will liquidate your account is if you get back to the original account size, the original capital plus $100. And so that means they're actually only risking $5,000 of their own money on every person that actually passes the evaluation. Now you might say that seems a little silly because they're probably and I guess that's the risk that the company's taking, but they think that the evaluation is proof enough for them, and I guess depending on how much money they're losing on those funded accounts, they might change the difficulty of passing that evaluation. Mr. Renko asks, is your strategy good for choppy days? No, it's not. I'll just say it straight up, it's not. The reason being is because choppy days are typically created by limit orders, and if it's by limit orders, this strategy requires us to enter trades with stop orders. And so if you're in a limit order market, which typically turns into trading range markets, typically it's not good. You're trading against the grain, essentially. JT Carpenter says Apex takes 4 months to withdraw the first $10,000. Yeah, so you have to slowly draw out the money. I think you can only draw $2,500 a month or something like that. And so, in my opinion, that's fine. It is what it is. I think up after a certain point, then you can start taking out more. But I think in the beginning, just to protect themselves, they don't want people just to take all the money and then, you know, blow their accounts, so forth. Which is respectable, in my opinion. I respect that. So that's the business model with any prop firm, you know. So after you can make, you know, actually make profit, then, you know, they get to take some commissions. And Apex is nice because you get to keep 90% of the commissions, which is, in my opinion, very good. Sitting on my pause here is very choppy right now. You know, the market's been very choppy. It's been choppy here, it's choppy here. That's probably my first mistake entering into this chop. But I still like that setup. Still like that setup to go long. Getting another fail second entry short here. This could be actually the first breaker trend here. New low. And could we have a reversal here? But still sitting on my pause is just too choppy, right? You got this many overlapping bars. No reason to enter that trade. The 5-minute also showing many dojis here. Doji-like bars. Big wicks showing us indecision by the market on the 5-minute chart. The 10,000 tick chart. Right, this triangle breaking down here. Now we're below the 20 MA. I believe someone asked a question about moving average gaps. You know, these are moving average gaps here. When there's a gap between the extreme of the candle and the moving average. We do have a trap here set up on the 10,000 tick chart. And, oh, man, I kind of like it coming back to the bottom of this trading range. It's just very choppy in my opinion, right? These are trading range type bars. And so if it does come down here, there's a high chance that there's a failed breakout and it comes back into the trading range. So that's why it's a little scary to enter here, but traps in general on the 10,000 tick chart are very good for scalps. So if it does reverse here and trap this, I don't know, it'll be tempting. It'd be tempting to enter, in my opinion. But it's very choppy market at the moment. So I'm just sitting on my pause. No setups at the moment. We do have a trap to the long side here. Fails second entry short, coming to the upside of this. But the reason why I'm wary here not to enter here is because I already tried to do that here and I failed. So I'm not going to try to do it here again. It misses. It's missing a point right now. It's missing 1 point. All right, and this is with a good signal bar to go long. Sitting on my pause here. Pandas. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining the stream. Hey, make sure you scalp that like button if you guys are just joining. Some people come here just for the community. Some people just enjoy the vibes. Some people just want to watch me lose money. Whatever the reason you're here, thanks for joining. Do appreciate if you guys scalp that like button. I do need that AdSense money because I am losing on these trades. Need that AdSense money. Now $50 at the moment. It's all good. Lost the first trade on a good setup in my opinion, but it is what it is. Very choppy here. Sitting on my pause. Very choppy here. Got no setups, got nothing in my opinion here right now. It's very choppy. I mean, you're thinking this trap will play out, but at this point, the fact that trap hasn't made a scalp yet is very disappointing, right? On traps, the scalps, if it's a proper trap, the scalp should happen in about 2 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, in my opinion. If it's a proper trap. So watching here, just watching. Too choppy to trade in my opinion here, but there is some reasons to go long here if this traps. Right? Another trap to the long side where it's a higher low second entry, right? This is actually a second entry. A, B, C, very hard to see, but it is a second entry. Right? With the indicators, very easy to see. Right? It's just a dark green number. But manually it's hard to see because it's very choppy here, but that's a two-legged pullback. It's actually a Pikachu. There's some reason to go long there, but now that we're making new lows here, I'm not as interested. Do have some reason to go long here, pandas, because this is a Pikachu trade, right? Easy to see with the indicator, magenta box with a dark green number. That means it's a trap plus a second entry long, or failed second entry short and a second entry long at the same time. The higher low setup, kind of like this trade, pandas. I gotta take this trade. The higher low setup. I'm gonna try to take this trade here. It's okay if I lose this. Again, I'm completely okay losing this trade. It's about 2-point risk here. It's disappointing, but that's a Pikachu to the long side. And it's a higher low setup, second entry long, with a failed second entry short. Right, that's a Pikachu, magenta box, dark green number. Right, above the 20 EMA. Right, we made our new low here. Right, break a trend, new low. And now we're hopefully can make a leg up here, but it is what it is, pandas. If I lose this again, it's gonna suck, but it's not the end of the world. You know, it's just down, like, I'll be down maybe $200, $300 now. But hopefully we can get this scalp here. Good reasons to go into this trade, but now it's acting a little disappointing to me. Like, I would like it to scalp out pretty quickly here, and it's not doing so. So it is what it is. Again, if I lose this, I'm completely okay losing this trade here. And if you're not okay losing this trade, don't enter any trade you're not willing to lose the max loss. Do not enter the trade. That means you're trading too large, right? If you're not willing to lose the max loss of your trade, you're trading too large. And yeah, so I'll be losing what, $200 if I lose this trade here. It's all good. Sitting on my pause here, we do have a triple top one, or quad, micro quad top, 4 hits on the same spot. I like the rising 20 EMA here, right? And the 20 EMA is now acting as a support, as you can see here, which is good for the bulls. It's a good way to end the bar. Got a little push up. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Getting a nice little runner here, hopefully. Not sure how high this runner will really go. Let's go, baby. We have a runner here. Runner's looking a little weak, but I'm gonna keep it on this reversal pattern. Potentially good move up. Well, looks like I'm gonna get stopped out. Let's go, baby. It's all good. The runner got stopped out. But hey, a win's a win. Let's go, baby. Right, the runner gets stopped out and then makes another push up. It's unfortunate, but you know, the reason why runners get stopped out is because people are waiting there with limit orders and they want to get in actually where your runner is because you come break even +1. And so people are trying to actually enter in right there when it comes back down. They say, okay, I like this move, and I like that little move it made, this price action. So when it comes back down, I'm in, and it makes a little spike back down, hits your runner, stops you out, but people are entering the trades there as well because those who missed this the initial spike up, they want to come in with this with the pullback. So that's why runners get stopped out so often. You know, I could have just exited the entire position on that one scalp, just make, you know, $100, but you know, it's all good. It is what it is. But that setup was pretty nice. The only thing I didn't like is all this choppiness here, a lot of chop. But I liked the Pikachu setup, right above the 20 MA, right coming off, right break of trend to new low here. And this might be the proper break of trend new low, and this comes with, and this is why I like to have the measuring average gap here. Sorry, the moving average gap here. See, this is a moving average gap where this circle is, or maybe I'll just use a box. Where this box is right here, there's a moving average gap, as you can see. And so I thought, you know, this was break of trend to new low, which it is technically. Right, depending on how tight you draw trend lines, but for me, the philosophy behind, wow, that was a really fast moving candle right there. Interesting. Something just happened, but that was a really fast moving candle. But the philosophy behind the entering into these traps to go long is essentially you're trying to scalp out on a major trend reversal. And the philosophy behind a major trend reversal is at first you want to see a minor trend reversal. And so the minor trend reversal, that's why we have break of trend, that's a minor trend reversal. And so we're thinking if it tries to reverse again, that would be a major trend reversal. And so we like to enter it with a higher probability trade, but with a trap, which is what we saw here. That was my first losing trade. But typically, when you think of the minor trend reversal, you know, you want to have the minor trend reversal be strong enough to make a moving average gap. And this is what this moving average gap is. So with the price action, right, the proper way to have actually done this was do it like this. And this would be the first break of trend because we had the moving average gap. Now it's a new low. And now with that new low, we have a reversal pattern here. And with that reversal pattern, you're trying to scalp out, but you know, you got about 40% chance this will actually reverse. You know, but for us, it doesn't matter if it actually reverses. We just want to scalp out, thinking, you know, if it's gonna reverse, hopefully we can at least scalp out here. And that's the philosophy behind the major trend reversal, and that's the philosophy behind why we like to trade traps, because technically, like, we're actually looking for a major trend reversal, but with a major trend reversal, you're hoping to at least be able to scalp out on that. That's why the traps are very good. Major trend reversal, you like it to stay above the 20 MA here. Closing beneath the 20 MA. It could be a trading range here, coming back into trading range on this 2K chart. Notice on 10,000 tick charts having a hard time breaking above the 20 EMA. And it made a spike up here, but this is a failed reversal. And essentially it's reversing now here on the 10,000 tick chart. It's a decent trade to actually go in short, but decent trade to go in short in my opinion here, but you got big risk. You know, if I were to enter this trade, I'll use only one contract, take a 1, 2, 3, 4.5 point loss. But with one contract, that's, you know, about $200. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. If you guys are just joining the stream, make sure you scalp that like button. I'm buy money. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining, we are doing the Apex evaluation. I'm trying to get this is my journey to get a $150,000 funded account by Apex funded traders. And it's a prop firm, and if you pass the evaluation, which is to make $9,000 profits before hitting a $5,000 trailing drawdown, then they will give you a funded account, $150,000 funded account. And once you get that funded account, then you can actually trade their money instead of your own. And so I'm trying to get that $150,000 account, and this is my journey to pass the evaluation right now. And so thanks for joining my journey here. I'm glad that you guys can join us. And up right now, you know, over a little $2,000, 6 days. It's all good. You know, at this rate, you know, maybe end of the month, maybe 9 weeks. Not sure. But the point is not to do it as fast as we can. The point is to do it as best as we can. And we're doing it by trading only one single setup, the two-legged pullback. It's a setup that looks like this. It's two-legged move. And I'm the only one that traces live. And so if you know, you find the right context, this is greater than 90% probably to make a point. And so we scalp this live on this stream every single day at 9 o'clock. And do I mess up? Of course I mess up. I mess up a lot, but it's all good. We're all slowly we're getting our bamboo though, and we are always learning, always getting better. So in my opinion, that's completely okay as long as you know you're getting better every single trade. But yeah, thanks for joining the journey here. If you'd like more information about the setup, you can check out the description below. Also, if you're wondering what's on the screen here, there's a two-legged pullback indicator, letting us know automatically every second entry here. Now we're doing something interesting here, something that we should not be doing on a reversal, right? This reversal is failing, and we're breaking down. We're making a new low here. Pretty much going to make a new low, I think. And with that happening, this is a failed reversal. Typically, failed reversals, big things happen. And like I mentioned, you know, you're wondering, why does the 10,000 tick chart trading range look like this? Why is it so large, right? When you're way up here, you're like, no way it's gonna come back way down here. But lo and behold, look at where we are. We're starting to come down to test this maybe. We actually make a double bottom here, which is surprising. I thought for certain we were gonna make a new low, but shows you that the market can really do anything. We were making a double bottom here. Very interesting. Pretty strong move back up here. Trading range on the 2000 tick chart still valid. Very choppy, very hard to trade, right? There's no setup here. You're not entering short here, in my opinion. Very hard to trade that. Sean Whalen says, there are a couple on Twitch stream. Only one on YouTube live, trading that two-legged pullback. Douglas Hill asks, is there an overall time limit to reach the goal with Apex? There is not. You can take as long as you want. There is a minimum time limit though, which is 10 days. It means you have to be trading 10 or more days in order to pass the evaluation, because they want to make sure You're not just trading one big, like one day with a really big, you know, lucky trade. Yeah. Getting our push down. I think, in my opinion, we're going to come down here and we're going to break here and we're going to hit the bottom of the trading range on the 10,000 tick chart. That is my opinion. But it's not financial advice. We're seriously just waiting here for a good setup. We do have a higher low here, but in my opinion, we are in a downtrend. I cannot trade this. I don't think I can go long here, but you know, maybe if you have one contract, you can trade long here and maybe scale in, but that's risky in my opinion to go long here. It is a higher low setup, but way below 20 MA. In my opinion, we've been in a downtrend, right? Making lower highs. Actually, it's a double top here, double bottom. Tim Chone says, do you need to provide proof of trades to Apex? So if you look at the top left of my screen, there is a capture of Rhythmic. Rhythmic is a third-party software that that basically tracks all your trades and it tracks, you know, everything for you. And so that software is there to prove your trades, in my opinion. So it's third-party software validating your trades, and so me putting it up there, I'm putting it all out there, right? 100% transparency. We do have a higher low setup currently forming. It's getting choppy though, and it's a terrible signal bar. So Tim Chone, you know, I would say if you're interested in Apex, read the directions very closely. Read it very closely. It tells you how to set up everything. Tells you how to set up Rhythmic. You gotta first, in my opinion, learn how to set up Rhythmic. You gotta set up Rhythmic first, make sure that's working, then start to go into Apex. So anyone, you know, who's skeptical about me trading this, you know, it's just, in my opinion, you know, with Rhythmic showing now, it's just like I don't know what else to really do to prove, you know, that I'm actually trading here, but you know, it is what it is. We did create the higher low second entry here. I'm not sure if I'm interested in this to go long. Not sure if I'm interested to even go short here, but it's just very choppy. Right? You basically have this like little trading range. It looks like this at the moment. And you know, it's kind of scary to go short into this box here. Right, double top, also double bottom. But in my opinion, this is most likely going to break down because the fact that this was a reversal pattern that failed, right? It's actually an L4 setup, and this reversal pattern failed to reverse, and it actually comes out the other way. But it might just want to be making a double bottom here, just to make, you know, before the actual reversal, double bottom. It could happen, but with this price action, it's just confusing. Very hard. It's been like this, I think, for the last couple days. It's very difficult price action. Douglas Hill asks, do you have any quick details on how the 150,000 account works? I actually mentioned it. If you rewind a little bit, you can probably find it, but I already mentioned how the funded account works. Dexio Trading makes a good point. On the 5 minute, we're actually, right, the very first 5 minute candle is this big candle right here. This is the first, well, actually, well, technically, that's the first 5 minute candle right here. But the second 5 minute candle right here, basically, we're in the range of this 5 minute candle, hitting the top to the bottom. In my opinion, though, we're most likely gonna come back to we're gonna come to the bottom here, in my opinion. Bottom trading range on 10,000 tick chart. Wow, we do actually trigger this two-leg pullback here. A, B, C, right? Two-legged pullback. It's actually a Pikachu trade here as well, but it's hard for me to enter short right into the bottom of this range. I cannot do it. And this is the reason why, right? We hit it and we're bouncing off of it now. I see this trading range clearly, so I'm not going to go short into that. So if you're short right now, you're sweating. I mean, you're already broken now. You already lost that trade. If you went short right into the bottom of that trading range. Not confident going long either, to be honest, but it's a failed trap, reversing. This trap makes a point, right? Perfect scalp, the 75s. It's a perfect scalp. Right, if you're entering the outside bar reversal here, you already made your perfect scalp. I'm sitting on my pause here. It's just too choppy. Just don't know what to do here. Just watching. Jack Hudkins asks, Apex, can you trade futures and options? Ooh, I'm not sure if you can trade options. That's a good question. I know you can trade other markets. I think they give you like market data for like almost every market on NinjaTrader, but I'm not sure if you can actually. I don't think you can trade options unless you can trade options on NinjaTrader. Just not sure how that's gonna work. But you know, it doesn't mean you have to use NinjaTrader. You can actually. I think you can use almost any platform, but I'm using NinjaTrader, so. Mindful Jazzy says, note to self, don't short into the bottom. Exactly. Right, this is why you don't short into the bottom. Even though this might work 60% of the time, those other times it doesn't work, that will burn you. Double top, double bottom. We're just in this range right now. Absolutely incredible how precise this range is, right? Perfect hits on both of these. Actually, but that failed reversal, how tricky is that? Failed reversal, in my opinion, these failed reversals typically have a strong move down, but wow. Tricky trades, tricky. By the way, if you guys want more information about the two-legged pullback indicator, you can go to the official website at www.twoleggedpullback.com. There you can find also a free trial of the indicator, so you can test it out before actually purchasing it. Also, if you get the deluxe version, you get access to the two-legged pullback Discord, which is where we trade after off stream, and so that's a lifetime thing. You know, one-time payment, lifetime access to that Discord. Absolutely incredible here. We may have another trap to the long side. But this is a tight trading range right here. The 2000 tick chart giving us a trading range with the price action inside here. I marked a larger one, but this is another trading range inside here. It's like a trading range inside a trading range. Just watching. Mindful Jazzy with the review. The indicator is so worth it if you trade two-legged pullback. Get it, and you won't regret it. Let's go, baby. Thanks for the kind words. I do get, I mean, the reviews and the feedback on the two-legged pullback indicator is actually really good. I mean, personally, I trade it. I like it. I use it. And so regardless of what people think, I mean, I'm using it. I think it's useful. And so, but because I think it's useful, I figure that other people can find it to be useful as well. So it's out there for you guys. Just terrible price action right now. Outside bar reversal, right? The engulfing bar. 10,000 tick chart, just inside bar and 10,000 tick chart. 5 minute, right? We're still within the range of this bar. It's got no price action, no setups, nothing. The context is not good either. It's hard to find a trade in this. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. The Black Man's Guide to Bitcoin. I almost feel like I can't say that that name. It might get canceled just saying that name, but it does not work. It's only for NinjaTrader. Steve T asks, were you still planning on updating the TR indicator so lines can be wider adjusted? Yes. It's been so busy, but that is definitely, I have like, you know, notes of all the feedback on the indicators, and so I'm going to, yeah, I'm planning to do so. Changing the width, also maybe putting alerts on the trading range indicator. So like, you know, if you have this trading range and you want to have an alert if it hits the bottom of the trading range, I'm gonna put that there as well. I'm gonna work for those. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. I'm up a little bit green today. Made up for that one loss. Pandas, make sure you scalp that like button. Also, if you guys are interested in the Apex funded account, what I'm trying to do right now as well, you know, if you're interested in trying to do the evaluation, there is currently a 50% off code, and so you can look in the pinned message right now. In the pinned message, there is a coupon code, and also if you guys could use the link to sign up. You know, it's really funny. You know, I pull up the affiliate link statistics. It tells you how many people like clicked on your link, how many people signed up using your link. I have over 400. I have about 500 people clicking on the link so far, and it only registered 2 people signing up. In my mind, it's absurd. I'm pretty sure more than 2 people have signed up using my link, and I just don't know why they're not giving me credit for those. But hey, pandas, with that being said, you know, if you guys do use the link, make sure you don't like close the browser. You know, make sure you're you know, in that same session so the cookies can account for that that sign up. I do appreciate if you do that. Of course, you don't have to, but I hope you do. Douglas Hill says, bye bye. Did you take a look at Lilu? I did. You know, Apex is very close to Lilu. It's like Lilu, but all the annoying stuff not there, right? It's like a better version of Lilu. And I'm thinking it's because, you know, competition has made these prop firms have to compete and make better deals. But also, also with the 50% off, I mean, that's a hard deal to beat. You know, in my opinion, you might as well just try it, right? If you get, you know, if you get a chance to get a $150,000 account for just like a few, like $150 a month, yeah, in my opinion, it's worth it. A lot of questions right now in the chat. Let me see if I can go over them. Richard Belmont asks, is there an indicator for trend lines? Right now I'm waiting. There's nothing, no setups here for us. This is actually a lower high setup. I kind of like that, but again, we're at the bottom of the trading range. I don't like to go short where we're in the bottom of the trading range. Right, in this choppiness, I don't like to go short into that. Yeah, Richard Belmont asks, "Is there a trend line indicator?" There is not. I don't, not one that I would actually like to use. I think right now for me the best way to make trend lines is manually. It's just hard to make a trend line indicator, in my opinion. It's just hard. I'm pretty sure there are some firms out there that, you know, some institutional trading algorithms that make trend lines, but I just don't. I just, in my opinion, it's just very difficult to do that. Yeah, I just don't know. In my opinion, like thinking about how I would do that, it just doesn't become clear to me. And maybe that just shows maybe I don't know, you know, since I can't, you know, put it in like an algorithm, maybe you know, that means I can't really explain how to make trend lines either. You know, in my opinion, if you can explain something, you should be able to make an algorithm of it, but, you know, like, would this be the trend line? Would this be the trend line, right? Would this be the trend line, or would this be the trend line? So you gotta ask yourself, you know, which pivots are you gonna use for the trend line? And in my opinion, it's kind of hard to discern that. Even if you do it manually, it's difficult. And so that's why, you know, this is also why you don't go short there, right? Bottom of the trading range indicator here. Enough room to the top here. That might have been a good long to go into the top, back to the top of this trading range. All right, makes a perfect scalp. Makes an absolute scalp. Lee 8818888 says 4-1. Congrats. Sean Huelen says it's hard to code gut feel. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's kind of what it is. It's too choppy, in my opinion, to trade this. I just, you know, this is a two-legged pullback. But so was this. These are all two-legged pullbacks, but it's a little too choppy. A, B, C, decent signal bar. I mean, I already made a scalp, so I'm not interested in that trade anymore. But to enter that trade, maybe not that bad, right? Higher low setup. Trading range indicator, giving us a trading range here. Come back to maybe the top of trading range. I mean, you could be a little cheeky here and put a limit order here, stop loss, or a limit order to sell, and, you know, have like a, you know, and be willing to scale in one time here. You know, that could be a strategy. Just keep trading off of these the trading range here. Right, let's just say that we did that. Let's just say, like, okay, we just sold here, you know, and we would have scalped out, right? Sold one here, scalped out. Sold here, scalped out. And like, if you're planning to do a 1.1 scale in, right? Sell here, goes above, scale in one time, right? Scalped out. Sell here, scale in one time, right? Scalps out here as well. Right? And if it doesn't scalp out here, you come back down and it scalps out here eventually. And you know, people could be doing that right now. Aaron Korn says, my kid just asked, are you learning from a panda? Let's go, baby. You know, honestly, I think if, you know, especially during like the Zoom days when schools were all virtual, you know, if the teachers were like panda avatars like I am, I think the kids will pay way more attention. Like, just the fact that it's a panda, the kids will pay way more attention, in my opinion. They'll just like to watch the panda. Richard Harris 7 and 2. Let's go, baby. Something interesting happened here on a 10,000 tick chart. We are having a hard time breaking above the 20 MA. We are having a hard time. We're under the 20 MA still. And when we did break above it, it's a failed breakout of it. So that could be telling us something. The 5 minute as well. The 20 EMA is now acting as resistance. It could break above here, but currently it is acting as resistance, and we got to acknowledge that, in my opinion. Coming to the top of the trading range here. Randall Stevens, your kid is going places. I'll say that right now. Your kid is going places. Says, my son told me the other day that the headphones aren't on the panda's ears. Your kid is going places. I'll just say that right now. There's a bright future ahead of him. It's absolutely right. These headphones are not even on my ears or on my cheeks. It's just aesthetically more pleasing when they're down like this low. Observer asks, does your website have a review feedback place for Trusted Pilot? I don't know. I don't think so. I never cared to look. I have, like, you know, I'm hosted by GoDaddy, and GoDaddy uses like this third-party reviewing system. I just use that one. Pandas, make sure you scalp that like button. Especially as we wait in this chop. There's nothing here for us. Literally watching paint dry. Just one of those days. I mean, it could be the FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. that could inject some incredible volatility in the market. But until then, it might be slow like this. I mean, it seems like it. It's like almost makes me want to come with a limit order here. Almost, because it's so slow. Comes to the top of the trading range on the trading range indicator. Right here. Gus, bro, man, that is sorry to hear. I went short on a swing and got stopped out at negative $15,000. Now I'm an emotional mess. Woo! Gus, bro, man, I'm sorry to hear. I don't know what your tolerance is, but that seems bad. That seems bad. Streamwave Production says, hi, bye bye money. I don't like where this is going with Streamwave. I'm not sure what Streamwave is up to. It does. I hope it's not some sort of bot scammer. I just do not like the look of that name plus that icon. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Streamwave Productions. Limit order. If you put a limit order on top of this trading range, you might be able to make a point here. Pandas, like I said, if you just put a limit order right here, you would have made a point. I would have made a point if I just put a limit order on top of this trading range on the trading range indicator. Bad Boy Vantage with the strange English, but I'm going to try to translate what he's trying to say here. I like what I see. Apex evaluation, you move on. That's good. I will post a YouTube link. It's 1 minute. Watch it. That's why I like to see Apex now. Not sure what he's really trying to say, but seems like he likes the fact that I'm doing an Apex evaluation. Trying to get that 150K funded account. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that as well. And also he's saying he will post a YouTube link that's 1 minute long, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to post that because the bot should block that. Streamwave or SW Blaze says trades by Matt took a 15K hit last week. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Trades by Matt. Just watching this, Pandas just noticed the 10,000 tick chart, the 20 EMA acting as resistance right now. Currently, there's a trap forming on the 10,000 tick chart, and these traps typically high probable trades on the 10,000 tick. It's just very choppy in my opinion, though. Still, that's why it's nice to have communities on days like this where you guys can ask questions, and I have plenty of time to answer your questions because there's just no setups right now for us. Haisam Arabi says, Panda, why don't you use a 200 EMA on your chart? I find it very indicative, like right now, it's super flat. I mean, you're free to use it. I just don't use it because of the noise. Too much noise on the chart. Yeah, trades by Matt. I mean, he has really big days, really good big days sometimes, but the only problem is because he doesn't have like a set like amount that he'll lose. When he scales in, it's like his losses can be really big. And that's just the risk that he takes. He's taking that risk, and he thinks it's worth it because his gains are really big if he does that as well. But in my opinion, if you were gonna do that, your gains have to be very large. Which he does have some pretty big days, right? He'll have some $2,000 to $3,000 days. But yeah, I don't know. It's unsure. Man, as somebody said, he scaled into 7 contracts, and so like, in my opinion, if you're gonna scale, you gotta have a max loss, because yeah, like you're scaling in, it's just gonna be too crazy. This in my opinion, it's too scary. You know, he obviously has a tolerance for it, but that is scary. That is really scary. 8H2358 says, consider the 5-minute trader and whether they got paid today with Ledge and VPOC both at the open. Poor, high, and low too. Yep. Pandas, we're still within the range of this 1 bar. And as long as we're in this range, it's very difficult to trade, in my opinion. Very difficult to choose a direction, let's just say. We do have a trap setting up here on the 5-minute. Do I like it? Not really, right? Because the 20 EMA has been a resistance so far, so I'm not sure. Just not sure about that. Trading range indicator on the 2000 tick chart. I mean, can that be any better, right? Hits the top and hits the bottom, right? Top to bottom, right? Limit order here. If you just had the limit order to back down to here, you could have made 2.25 points of limit orders. But with that being said, that means you have to be willing to buy right here and be willing to sell right here, and scale in one time, in my opinion. Falcon One asked about coffee. There's another passion of mine is coffee, drinking coffee. And so yeah. Mocha pot to espresso machine. It's the closest thing you can get, in my opinion. It's not the same, but it's the closest thing you can get. It's not the same, but it's the closest thing you can get. And I'll just leave it at that. Mocha pot is very good though. I like it a lot. And if you don't have, a espresso machine, I would say that is, the next alternative. But there's something about the espresso machines and the pressure they add, plus the grind size you use to get the kind of espresso. Like, think about, right, the espresso machine, you get crema, and the crema is, if the espresso is pulled correctly, the crema should be very good. But with the mocha pot, you don't really get crema, right? You don't get that pressure, you don't get the grind size, you don't get the same you don't get the same mechanics as espresso machine. Similar mechanics, but not the same. Marking this trend line here. Actually, maybe mark it as a channel. Channel going up here like this currently. And if you bought a limit order in the bottom of this trading range, you come back to the top of the trading range, made another 2 points. You could have literally done that all of these swings here and made your points here. Willing to scale in one time and just putting the stop loss under your scale in. Nothing to do here, just watching. Again, limit order. If you sold a limit order here, let's see you get back to the bottom, right, with one scale in. Strong bull bar ending near its high. You gotta take note of that. Typically, there's follow through. Double top to double bottom. Bulls want to break out here. 10K chart where the 20 EMA was acting as resistance is now not acting as resistance as much as it might. We gotta let this candle finish. Could be a failed breakout again here. And that's just how the days have been lately, pandas. Just incredible chop. And it's unfortunate for price action trading. Trading to like a pullback is just, it's not the best type of market cycle to trade. I'd be surprised, even with hindsight bias, if Mac finds some good setups here. If you watch Price Action Trading System, look at his reviews, he goes over, the reason why I don't like those reviews is because it's so much hindsight bias. Like, he looks at the chart, he sees, oh man, that makes a huge swing, I like that trade. And it's like, it actually infuriates me when he does that. Like, especially when he doesn't have a trade marked and he realizes, man, that made a really big swing. He's like, oh, I like that trade. Only after he sees that it makes a really big swing. I hate the hindsight bias type market analysis. It's just not helpful, in my opinion. It could be helpful, don't get me wrong. And I love Mac. But when it comes to those daily reviews, it just, I don't know. It's not my style. I would pay to see Mac trade live. That's, if he could trade live, then I would really would be interested in watching that. And I wish he did do that live. I wish he did. It's really funny because people come on the stream defending Mac, like really defending Mac, which is funny because I never attack Mac. I have criticisms, but I'm not attacking him. I love Mac. I tell people to go to Mac's Price Action Trading System all the time. I tell them to go there. But I have some criticisms. I wish he wouldn't do some hindsight bias. Market reviews. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment. But another funny thing is people worship this guy and they come to my stream and they hate on my stream because they think I'm fake. Whereas I don't understand how it just boggles my mind. I actually trade live. I actually show my accounts. I actually show my my statements. I'm currently showing my Rhythmic, which is a third-party software that checks your account and validates your account. It's just it boggles my mind. It absolutely boggles my mind. But man, the internet is a crazy place. You find a lot of strange things on the internet, so it is what it is, pandas. Duncan Content asks, who is Mac? Mac Price Action Trading System. If you want to learn, more details about the two-legged pullback, there's two people I always recommend. Mac from Price Action Trading System and also Al Brooks from Brooks Trading Course. These two people I always recommend. This guy has a lot of chat engagement, but I cannot say his name. I'm gonna say BMGTB says 2 trades per day for $200, $1,000 per week, $4,000 per month equals I'm good. Yeah, don't be greedy, pandas. That's a good way to look at it. And think about if you can get to $500 a day. trading, you know, 2 scalps with 5 contracts, you're talking about $2,500, right? 10K a month. Mike Carroll says Mac is solid. All of you guys bring something to the table. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with. I like Mac. You know, I just criticisms. I wish he traded live. I wish he didn't do hindsight bias chart reviews. You know, if he can do something more, like even if he did bar by bar reviews, I would. I know like he probably doesn't want to because of time constraint, but if he did bar by bar reviews, I would love those way more than his daily chart reviews. Way more. Coming up now, something to take note, where the 20 EMA used to be resistance is no longer resistance, right? We're breaking off and now we're going above it, and comes after an H4 setup, right? 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes down. I know it's 4 pushes down because of this 4 here with the indicator. That's giving us 4 pushes down. Typically on these downtrends, right? 3 to 4 pushes down, 4 pushes down, reversing. Ooh, hello. 5-minute chart giving us a nice higher low setup here. I didn't see that. Missed that. Coming to the top of the box here. Looking for that triple top. Bulls are trying to break out. Bears are going to try to come back into this trading range here. Let's see who wins here. This is a battle. Battle of the Bulls and Bears. Falcon 1 says he should point out failed second entries. I also agree with that. If Mac goes into his daily chart reviews and said this is a very good setup but fails here, then I would actually respect that a lot more as well. The reason why he doesn't do that is obviously, right, people think I start the stream because I'm just trying to promote my stuff. I do promote my things here. It's my stream. I can promote my indicators. I can promote whatever I'm doing on my own stream. But the criticism is that I do that, right? I shill my own stuff. What do you think Mac is doing, right? At least I'm trading live, right? I always say that if I'm just trying to shill, this is the worst thing I can do, right? Trade live and actually fail in front of you guys. Because if I'm failing in front of you guys and I'm trying to, you know, promote, you know, a certain system that requires, that doesn't require, but, you know, using an indicator, then, you know, this is literally the worst thing I can do to shill, right? I'm actually trying to trade with you guys. I'm actually just one of you guys, right? I'm a trader. I'm learning. I'm trying to get my bamboo. But, you know, Mac, if I were really trying to shill, I'll do what Mac's doing, right? Show a perfect trading system, doing hindsight bias, daily chart reviews. And if you want to know who's shilling, right? Mac is shilling. Every single daily chart review is just him shilling. And, you know, I just think... I think that's the irony of the criticism I get on my stream. It just doesn't make sense to me. The internet is a crazy place. You find some very strange people. Very strange people. But it is what it is. Alright, enough about the haters. Moving on, pandas. But even with that, I don't hate on Mac. I like him, right? There's nothing, you know, I have against him. You know, if he wants to promote his stuff, that's free to do. But because he's promoting his stuff, I think that lessens the quality of his reviews. You know, for those who really just want to learn it, you have to put into, you know, the review, man, like, this is where you messed up. I mean, this is where this setup was very good, but fails. But he'll just skip those trades. You know, I see on his chart, man, that's a good setup, but that failed. And you know, he would just skip it and say, yeah, you know, you wouldn't enter that because of, you know, some arbitrary reason. So, all right. It sounds like I hate Mac, but I don't. I just don't like his daily chart reviews. I don't like how he does it. You know, there's some good things about it, but, you know, I wish they were better. But it is what it is. Brit Constant as, why come on this stream talking about other men? That's true. Why am I talking about other men? Let's look at the price action. I mean, the price action is so choppy. I just got nothing here. I got nothing here. Hi, I'm Noob. Says talking smack about Mac. Oh, that rhymes. You know, I love the guy, and I'm pretty sure I gave him a big rush of, like, you know, new income because of my streams. But moving on. All right, top of this. Oh man, triple top. That's crazy. 1, 2, 3. It's not only a triple top, but it's a perfect triple top, right? Hitting exact same point. That's crazy. Also, top of the channel here. Right? We have a channel coming up. Hitting top of the channel also. The top of this, the triple top here. Currently trapping though. Right? Terrible signal bar. If that was a better signal bar, I might have been interested in shorting that, but it's risky. You know, you gotta get that lower high setup in this situation, in my opinion. Pandas, what do you guys think of the metaverse? The metaverse to me, man, it's just strange. I just don't know. I mean, I understand Facebook needs to do something, right? Facebook is, in my opinion, a dying platform, but the metaverse, the amount of money they're putting into it, it feels like they're putting all their eggs into that one basket, and I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. You know, the crazy thing about the metaverse is that, you know, people are buying land on the metaverse, right? They're buying digital land, and it's selling for like millions of dollars. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy. I mean, in my mind, it makes sense if the metaverse becomes a really actual thing, but man, I don't know. It's already so expensive. You know, the land is selling for like millions of dollars. It's already way inflated for me. But like the metaverse is just like, for me, I don't see what the difference is between that and like Sims. You know, it's just like Sims for the world to play. That's what it seems like. You know, you get an avatar, and I don't know. To me, it just seems like Sims. I don't know. I really don't know the allure of the metaverse. Let me know what you guys think about the metaverse, if you guys even thought about it. Again, there's no setups here, Pandas. This is really terrible. You can see this as a setup with hindsight bias. Of course you can see that with hindsight bias. But if this is all you have and you realize, you know, the 20 EMA is right here, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Will Curtis says, I thought this was the metaverse. It is. This is the metaverse. This is not reality. I like a nice setup here, but Panda's not getting anything, man. Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, talk about slow days. This has been like exceptionally slow. FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. Pandas, don't forget. Those who went short here might get trapped here. But we are having a hard time breaking out, actually. When I look at the higher time frames, it looks like it wants more room to go up. You know, when you have a strong bull bar ending near its high like this, come back down, it looks like it wants to pop up higher. But sitting on my pause, there's no setups. Futures trader says virtual land is selling for millions when you can create more virtual land in a fraction of a second. I think that's the thing. Like, I think they're making it limited, right? They're like, it's like based, probably gonna be based on crypto, right? Blockchain technology, and you know they're going to have some sort of limitation on the amount of land that could be bought. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, if it's just Facebook, you know, just creating land, then I think that's completely worthless. It has to be some sort of neutral third party or decentralized, you know, platform in order to make sense of having, you know, something like land selling, because you need to have some sort of limit on the supply. You know, like Bitcoin, you know, like there's a limit to the supply because it's decentralized, and so with the code, it's already been limited. So I can see the allure of it, right? There's only a certain amount of Bitcoins out there, and always will be. Lauren says, Meta S&P 500 futures to the moon. Let's go, baby. Those who are in this trade, they might get their prayers answered here, because we thought they were gonna trap out, but man, it's having a hard time breaking above. This is crazy. This is crazy. Falcon One asks, "Hey Panda, why don't you create another Facebook?" I mean, if it was that easy, if it was just that easy, you know, think about it. There's probably a lot of Facebooks out there. They're all failing. Almost want to take advantage of this chop here and go short, but Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. I mean, only setup that I liked was, I mean, I had the setup that I liked here. End up stopping me out by one tick. Sorry, was it here? Yeah, it was right here. Stopped me out by actually 2 ticks, looking back at it. And finally makes my point later. And saw this higher low here. Wow, Pandas, those who went short here, Might have your prayers answered. Or not. You're still trapped, technically. Perfect scalp trap. Yeah, Richard Harris says, you guys see Virginia? Was it the gubernatorial race? Conservatives won. Historic for Virginia. Virginia pretty much used to be a purple state, but now I think it's been red, you know, more times than not. Or sorry, it's been blue more times than not. But I mean, it looks like it's turning back red. So. Alright, pandas. It is what it is. It's one of those days. I will say the 5-minute is creating a trap right now. There's a 5-minute trap. I'm not sure if I'm going to take this though. It's right into the 240 SMA. But you know, the trap off the 20 MA here on an uptrend. It could be a potential, you know, scalp here. And I would just leave it at that on the 5 minutes. But you know, trade at your own risk. Also trap on a 10K chart starting to form as well. Pretty much going to be triggered around the same spot as a 5-minute trap. But you know, we got to let these candles finish before doing anything. So it is what it is. Pandas, hope you guys are trading well. Happy trading, everyone. God bless. I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early, 9 a.m. Make sure you guys remember 2 p.m. is FOMC announcement. So all of this chop might be due to that, people waiting for that announcement to happen. Pandas, hope you guys are doing amazing. And, you know, trade safe, everybody. Happy trading. God bless. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. Eastern time.